is that letting go, where the mind stops its clutch and just opens. That allows naturally the most profound, the most mysterious, the most unspeakable realization.
Hello and welcome to Being Yourself, Self-Inquiry with Gangaji. My name is Barbara Denenpont. Today I am so happy to bring to you a recording that actually might be the most popular or the most listened to recording that we have in the archive. It was recorded back in 1997 in Boulder, Colorado. At the time, we called it Letting Go of Control. It's a wonderful monologue where Gangaji is speaking to really what that moment of letting go of control really is. Then I hang on a little bit longer to this clip because there's a wonderful exchange with a young woman who comes up and really shares her moment of letting go of control. Let's take a listen.
Welcome to Satsang. I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and they asked me, what's the mark of spiritual maturity? What's a sign of spiritual maturity? Because it's often spoken of as a necessity to truly awaken to who you are. And I accept that it is a necessity, this spiritual maturity. It doesn't have anything to do with what people think it has to do with, however. It doesn't have to do with how many years you've practiced or how many years you've prayed or how many years you have been good or bad or not practiced. It seems to me that at the most basic level, it's the realization that you are not in control. This, of course, is a shattering realization. So at least from the time the human being is 2 years old or so, there's this belief in the possibility of control and this fight for control and this attention and energy on control. And obviously there are many things that can be controlled to a great degree. Nothing can be controlled totally. Bodily functions can be controlled to a degree. Circumstances can be controlled to a degree. Thoughts, emotions, position, survival can be controlled to a degree, but finally cannot be controlled. So I want to make a distinction between control and support, because there is great joy in supporting, and there is misery in this tendency to believe that one can control. So to support the health of the body, to support the health of the planet, to support the health of other bodies, this is joyous. To support the awakening of all beings, this is joyous and natural. It's a natural activity that is joyous. But to imagine that you can control the health of the body, that you can control the health of other bodies, that you can control the health of the planet, or that you can control the awakening of all beings, this is suffering, actually, because it takes enormous attention and energy away from supporting, so that the energy and the attention is always on the outcome, is always checking, is the body healthy? Is their body healthy? Is the planet healthy? Are they waking up? Am I waking up? So always looking to some end, rather than simply giving all that energy and attention to supporting the awakening, the health. You understand what I mean? So in that shift from attention on control to attention on support, there's a great release. there's the recognition of the fullness of being out of control. Because really the being in control, or the desire to be in control, or the illusion of being in control, or the hope to be in control, is all based on the megalomania of thinking you know what it is the outcome should be. And this at least goes back to when you were 2 years old. What you want is what it should be, period. So this is immature, it's simply immature. With the mystery of maturity, or the mystery of the shattering of the illusion of control. Ironically, of course, it's the upside of aging. Because however much you did it right, finally the body begins to decay. And certainly there are great advances in medicine where perhaps the body will not decay as fast, or there are great discoveries in misuse of the body that can be shifted so that the decay does not happen as fast. But the truth is, the whole planet is also in that decay. So, of course, perhaps we can get in spaceships and go to another planet. Why not? No problem with that. But if this is all supported by the illusion of control rather than the truth, the possibility of true support for all of that, then when we go to the other planet, or when our bodies are made to live 400, 500, 1,000 years, there will simply be 400, 500,000 years of suffering rather than the joy of one's being. So I'm not anti-science and I'm not anti-discovery at all. I happen to be very interested in it. But my attention is on supporting the awakening of what doesn't need to be extended, of what doesn't need to not decay, of what doesn't need to be physically well to be truly free. And we have met by some set of mysterious circumstances so that we can support that in one another, so that we can recognize that the possibility to discover the truth of no control is the opportunity to realize what doesn't need to be controlled, to be free, to be happy, to recognize itself. So if you are here in satsang, however it is you imagine you got here, even if you think your friend controlled you in getting you here, I assume that you are here because you are at the very least interested in maturing. At the very least, that's the ground. And this maturing is a maturing into the realization of what is whole and free and eternal and limitless. What is your own self? Self as truth, not self as what we have called ourself, our particular body, our particular memories, but self as the totality of all being. So I make that basic assumption. And if I'm mistaken, which it's always possible to be mistaken, I also assume that if that is not your desire, if you're simply open to the possibility that it is your desire, you will find it to be so. And you will catch this fire, this joy, this peace of letting go. Simply letting go. It is that letting go where the mind stops its clutch and just opens. That allows naturally the most profound, the most mysterious, the most unspeakable realization. Before that, there is a clutching at what one thinks must happen, or should happen, or even did happen. And that clutching itself perpetuates the suffering, the identification with control. Just the opening, just the letting go. The willingness to let go and see who is really here. Who are you, really? Not who you think, not who they think, not who you hope, not who you fear. Who are you, really? Yes, there's a great sigh. You know, physically, when there's a sigh, it's some unsuspected, some unconscious place that was holding, let's go. Oh, didn't even know I was holding there. Oh, this is endless. Okay, let's have it.
Oh, I have such a great follow for what you're speaking. It is exactly what I wanted to report. A little report and then a question. But it was exactly this, that I had an experience this week that I had two shockers this week. One was a shocker, like, God, that's what's going on here? And the other one was, wow, I can't believe this. And it was that I was having this experience with Charlie about something that I really wanted. And I thought that I had to have this. I had to have this, or I just couldn't be satisfied here. And I was discussing this with him, and we were really in inquiry about it, whereas always in the past it was I had to dislike or resent or go away or run away. But so now we're into this, well, what's this about? What do you think? How come I want this so much? What do you think this is about? And do you really think? And he said, that's just a thought that you want that. And I said, no, it's not just a thought. I really want this. That's not just a thought. That's real that I want this. And he said, no, just consider that it might just be a thought. And when I considered that that was just a thought, and I started to think, well, what if this is just a thought, and I really don't have to have this to be happy? It felt like everything opened up for me, and it was so huge. And the whole rest of the week, I have been living in this space where everything looks different to me with Charlie now. Everything. And I've been able to experience a depth of what I thought this thing was that I couldn't have with him, but it doesn't look like what I thought it was going to look like.
Yes, and that's right. That's the key right there. It doesn't look like what I thought it was going to look like, because it's what you thought it was going to look like that you thought you wanted.
That's right.
Rather than the truth of the depth of the intimacy or the depth of the understanding.
What I saw is that if I think I know what I want, there is no way for me to be at peace. That was what I saw that I didn't know before.
Very good.
It was a miracle. And this whole week has been like now everything that I think I want. I keep going, wait a second, maybe this isn't really so. And I felt like I just lifted this week. And it was just miraculous for me.
So tell me, what do you really want? Now that these have been uncovered to be thoughts based on some idea of what will give you more.
If I could coin all the phrases that we say, but I don't want to do that. And I want to see for me what that is.
Excellent.
And what it is for me that I have been experiencing this week is to just right in this moment, what is here that I could fully be with. And that's what I'm finding is ecstasy for me this week. That's what I'm seeing as what I really want.
In this moment, right in this moment, what is here that you can absolutely be with, regardless of what happens, regardless what action I take, Charlie takes, somebody else takes, regardless of what happens circumstantially, that you can absolutely, completely be that. And let's change it. That you are absolutely, completely already with.
It's just a big space. What I want is just to be in this with no thought in my mind about how anything is, just to be in this.
So,
right now. That's right now, that's what I want.
And right now, is there anything that obstructs that desire from its fulfillment?
Nothing.
Excellent.
Nothing.
This is the truth. This is the truth. You don't have to believe it. You have the opportunity to investigate it and see, is it so? Can it be that simple? I say yes. Not only can it be, it is already that simple. And you have discovered the key to unlock the complication, so that the absolute simplicity of this that you want to be with is this that you are with in this moment and all moments. I'm not speaking about the particular circumstances or the pleasure or the pain that may arise in any moment, but I am speaking regardless of circumstances, regardless of pleasure or pain, that which you really want. Not only are you with it, you are it.
There is a lot of wonderful material in the archives, and I invite you to write to me with a topic suggestion. You can write to me, Barb, at info@gangaji.org. That's info@gangaji.org. And I want to always remind you to visit the website, gangaji.org. There's all kinds of information, additional podcasts, clips, and other ways that you can get to know more about Gangaji, her foundation, and how you can connect with her and the global community. I really appreciate our time together, and I love this opportunity to dig into these archives. Thank you for giving me that job. That's all for now. Until next time.